This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
If your eyes are the windows to your soul, and your glasses are the windows to your eyes, then it's pretty important to find your perfect frames. That's why at Warby Parker, we've made shopping for eyewear as easy and fun as can be. Peruse endless styles in our stores, or use our app to virtually try on frames and get personalized recommendations. To find your next favorite pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to locate your nearest Warby Parker store, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm the therapist, Tess Brigham.
And I'm the attorney, Brooke Brigham.
So welcome back to our Sister Wives coverage. We are starting Season 5, Episode 1, Polygamist, Debt Threat. Oh boy, this was a doozy.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
Ooh, was it good? There was a lot of recapping of, because season premiere.
Yes.
A lot of recapping of recounting the move and how their family culture is crumbling. The siblings aren't together. Just like a review of last season.
Yes. The fleeing.
Yes.
The fleeing to Utah. And how they've been looking for a home for a year and a half. And it was really interesting when Christine said she's never lived on her own before. I was like, wow, I never thought about that.
Never paid bills before.
Yeah, that she'd never paid a utility
Janelle always
bill.
took care of it.
Yes. So she says that her credit, this surprised me. So her credit's decent and Mary's credit is decent. But it's Janelle and Robyn's that's not okay. So Robyn's I knew wasn't okay.
Yeah.
But Janelle's, why would Janelle's be bad? They never explained. Why would Janelle have bad credit? If Janelle is the one that's always earned the most money and is the one that's always done the books and always been most financially solvent.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Don't you think that's weird?
It is weird.
So.
It is weird. I don't know. They should have maybe explain that. But
they didn't.
Maybe because Janelle has always been taken on responsibilities for bills and debts. Like when things go sideways, it's her credit that gets dinged.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah. I really hope in season 18 they tell us some of the truth of some of this stuff.
Yeah, I want more details.
I do too. So Kody says, this is the most important dream we ever buy into.
Kody is just always there making this so dramatic.
I know. So first order of business is Robyn and Solomon. They need to, her credit's in terrible shape. So she's got to go see Stephanie Clement, who's a lawyer.
Nevada lawyer.
Yes. So she says that she took responsibility for a lot of the debt. This divorce thing, I have so many questions about this.
I don't believe anything she says.
I don't believe a lot of this.
Well, we talked about last week that, there's allegations that her ex-husband's family gave her money to pay off these debts, and she didn't. She just kept it and spent it and never paid them back. And that these are her debt. The reason why you got these debts in the divorce is because they're yours, sweetheart. I don't believe anything she says. She just doesn't want to look like a deadbeat.
Yeah.
And she says that she needs to bring her credit score up to 600 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she's below 600, which is...
I don't even know. I don't even know what the levels... I mean, I know credit score numbers, but what is...
Well, like
what
for
is
instance,
600? How bad is that?
That's not very good. Like if you want to get a mortgage or anything, you've got to be over 700. You've got to be 720, between 720 and 60 or something like that. If you want to get good interest rates. I mean, it can be lower, but you're going to be paying higher interest rates. And it's harder to get a loan. So, but below 600, that's really not good.
Yeah.
That's someone who has just a ton of stuff on their, just didn't pay bills. And we know she has a bunch of things that went to collections because the lawyer's talking about, well, we can pay some, probably settle some of these and pay them off now. But what we also talked about, I think last week too, is, well, it takes a little time for those things to come off your credit report. But I guess you can get like a letter that says that this has been resolved and taken care of, and then the financing people can take that into consideration.
Well, I guess so. So Stephanie has this other guy, this credit repair guy. So Robyn is then going to, oh wait, that's not happening yet. So her next step is to go to the credit repair guy.
Yeah.
And of course, her worst case scenario is everyone qualifies except for her.
Yeah. And I want to know, why does Robyn have a huge purse and a huge diaper bag?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I was like, see,
do you really need all this stuff just to leave your house, just to go to the lawyer's office?
See, I was looking at this stuff because obviously we've always heard about her and her shopping addiction. I was looking at this and I was like, see, that bag. I'm like, that seems like a very fancy diaper bag. Why do you need that fancy diaper bag?
Yeah.
You know? So Janelle wants to meet Mona at the model home because she needs to keep the costs down.
Right. She's cutting bedrooms. She's cutting.
Her kids are sleeping out back in tents.
They're going to be in bunk beds, just a dormitory style, like just all in one room. Boys' room, girls' room.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this was a very kind of interesting, I thought this was a very interesting section with Janelle, especially in light of this new season. Because, you know, she talks a bit about her relationship and her relationship with Kody. She's talking about how, you know, Kody thinks that the kids are going to be there forever. Yeah. And she is a little more realistic.
She says kids are going to be leaving home. She doesn't need all these bedrooms. Bedrooms equal more money.
Yes.
And and so she's saying Kody wants 5 bedrooms upstairs and then wants to convert the downstairs office into a bedroom for Savannah. Why does Savannah need to be all by herself downstairs?
Yeah.
That's weird. And Janelle's like, no.
Yeah. And he keeps saying throughout this, well, and then what about Logan? And she's just like, he's
not coming
to
back.
The dorms.
And
he's going.
He's like, yeah, but he'll come home for Christmas. Or something. And she's like, well, yeah, maybe
for a couple
weeks he can sleep in. He can sleep in Hunter's room. You know?
Yeah. She's just like, God.
Yeah. And
leave it alone.
I think she was talking about just having 3 bedrooms. I mean, I don't know where she's going to sleep because it says the boys will, Garrison and Gabe will share a bedroom. Maddie and Hunter get their own room. So that's 3 rooms. So if you convert the downstairs one to a bedroom, Savannah sleeps with her.
I don't know. I don't know where she's putting Savannah.
I think Savannah was sleeping with her.
I think so. Maybe.
And then got her own room when Hunter
Kody
left.
Oh, yeah, maybe. And then what happens when Cody's there that one night?
I guess she has to sleep on the couch. Well, I don't think there's a lot of sex happening. Yeah. She probably stays in there, sleeps in the room.
Well, and then she starts talking about how money has always been divided across the family. And that Janelle has always made more money than her sister wives. And that in the past that she would really resent Meri when she would think, you know, so this didn't make, I was trying to write this down verbatim, but she wasn't saying.
She said she was resented it when Meri wanted things and she spent money and Janelle couldn't because she was paying a big chunk of the household.
Yeah.
She didn't have any discretionary income and Meri did.
Yes. And then, so, you know, when they moved to Vegas and Meri, we've talked about this before, and Meri insisted on looking at houses just as big as theirs, even though she has one child. This is when she was really, bothered when things were very, their money was very scarce. And Janelle says that now that she heard Meri's perspective, she's no longer bothered. And I don't
believe that.
Okay. You don't believe that? And
no.
I also was thinking to myself, I'm still bothered.
I'm bothered.
I'm so
greatly bothered.
That is still the most. I get it. I am really sorry, Meri, that you have not had all the children that you want. That still doesn't change the fact that you don't have these children.
It's not fair.
And it's not fair.
It's not fair to take the same amount as people with more children. It is just simply not fair. And it's become, I called it the Meri penalty. You know, it's like, because they're talking about how they're each going to get the same budget for their homes.
Well, and also the fact they talk about this earlier too, about how they say all the wives have the same budget, but Meri shouldn't be penalized because this wasn't Meri's choice. That this is an unfair. I highlighted like this is an unfair situation. That this was unfair to Meri. But I'm like, this is the most convoluted thing.
The stupidest theory.
Okay. When someone goes to the welfare office, you don't go and say, well, I really want to have 10 kids, but I actually only had 3.
But I want benefits for 10.
I want benefits for 10.
Exactly.
No, they give you benefits for 3 because those are the 3 children you have to feed. It is really unfair for Janelle and Christine to have the same food budget that Meri does when she has 1 kid versus 6. That's so utterly ridiculous. I am so bothered by this.
I don't think Janelle in her heart believes this. I think that she says it because that's the family line that they have adopted. And it's the through line that Kody has told them, you know, this is our position and everyone's got to be on the same page. But they can't help themselves. Janelle and Christine cannot help themselves in these interviews. They go off the reservation sometimes and they say how they really feel. And we've seen it. It was last week. It's this week. It's a continuing theme.
Well, but do you think when Janelle is sitting down and making the weekly food budget, do you think that she is equally dividing it? Or do you think in reality, she and Christine are getting more money? Because in reality, she and Christine
the food budget,
should be getting more money for food.
The food budget I can see, but when it comes to housing, clearly.
No, this housing obviously.
Meri gets whatever.
Oh, I forgot to tell everybody. Okay, I'm sorry. For season 5 and probably 6, 7, and 8 and 9. I don't know how many seasons are they doing these houses?
I think it's season
5, 6,
6. We're 7? On 5. I think they don't really move in till 6.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a new drinking game. Everyone get out your favorite cocktail when you listen to our podcast. And every time Meri says wet bar, take a shot. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to promote. I don't want people getting too wasted. Because you're going to hear it a lot.
Okay. Well,
so be careful.
Take a bite of ice cream or whatever your vice is. But if you like drinking games, wet bar. Every time you hear the phrase wet bar from Meri.
Yeah. And so then this is where Janelle tells us how she really feels and says, because she does so much of the finances, she wonders what would happen if one day she just ran away.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, that's
I think she meant it. She had this look in her eye, like that was a fantasy of hers."
Oh, yes, it was. She had a twinkle in her eye. And what was so funny about this is there was this sad music playing, like, doo, 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 doo. And then the next scene is like scenes of the strip and like Janelle is like fantasizing about running away. And then, let's go to Shane O'Neill, the photographer.
Oh, God. The Sister Wives Closet online store is launching.
This Shane O'Neill guy, it's like, he's one of the top in his field. This guy was a dork.
Yeah.
He's like, he looks at the camera and goes, word. I'm like, you are such a dork. But this was, I will say, this was over 10 years ago, so his fashion choices were interesting.
He thought he was a hipster.
He thought he was so cool.
And so, as Robyn says, they're going to get pictures. So the Sister Wives' hair, they're all curled up. Everyone's just got the curling irons out.
I love Christine, but Christine said something. Did you catch what Christine said? And I wanted to scream.
What?
Christine said, Because Kody kept fighting
Oh, yeah.
about taking a photo.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
didn't want to be in the photos. It was not manly.
it was all
know.
like, this is about sister wives and sister wives,
Women's
wives,
empowerment.
women's empowerment and sister wives in closets. I think he didn't want to be part of anything that's closet and sister wives, right? And so Christine said, when a woman has a business, she always has a picture of her husband because they're a unit. And this is a big thing with the Mormons.
Yeah.
And those MLMs, because we saw this on the Lulu Rowe all those Lulu Rowe documentaries that came out. This was a big part of that, was this idea of when you signed up for those MLMs, they all promoted that then you needed to get your husband involved.
Yeah, they call it retiring your husband.
Retiring your husband.
But no, your husband is just coming to work for you.
Yeah, because but part of it was too, once you got your husband involved, they really had you. Because
you're totally dependent on that income.
You're totally dependent on it. But also this belief that a woman couldn't run this on her own.
Yeah.
I just like to say, I have my own business and my husband's nowhere. I don't even mention his name. I mean, he's nowhere near there. I don't need...
Well, this is Christine.
I know.
And she's come a long way, but
I know she has, but I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. So Kody is complaining, and Christine's like, "Can we just take the pictures? We all look great, and I'm getting hot."
Yeah. So she's right.
Kody acquiesces, and then he says something about how he thinks he's just a boy toy. That's why he didn't want to be in the pictures.
It's like, oh, yeah, you are,
that's
Kody.
what we think of when we look at you, Kody,
Yeah.
boy toy. And then the wives all have to rotate being next to him, and they have to explain this to Shane. Is that his name? And he's like, okay.
Shane's just like, whatever. I'm getting paid by the hour, right? Let's just roll it.
I'm getting paid, a flat fee. You guys do whatever you want. I don't care. So then we see Maddie. She's on Fremont Street with her friends doing the zip lining.
With Casey and DJ.
Like the sister wives did that zip lining.
So it's all about her and how the move has been hard. And then, of course, we see some flashbacks of how we saw sullen, mad Maddie and how she was, and just about how she doesn't like to hang out with kids that are all sloppy drunk. And she hangs out with kids that party a little bit, but not the sloppy drunk kids. And that Leon hangs out with like the super straight Mormon kids. But that she doesn't,
Maddie's cool. She has to establish she's a cool girl.
Yeah, she's much cooler than Leon and maybe some of the other kids. But her friends are, they're cool, but they're not like...
They're not sloppy drunk
yeah, they're
girls.
Not, but they're cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Whatever.
That's whatever Maddie's doing.
So then the next scene, we meet a new character, Tara Lise.
Yes.
Robyn's sister, a.k.a.
the babysitter.
Her nanny.
Yes.
Yeah, and she explains that she's been living with them and she helps Robyn take care of the kids. And when they get these new houses, Tara Lise will be moving in to the new house as well and continue to be Robyn's nanny until she gets a new one. I mean, what?
So interesting, Robyn. Haven't you been telling us for how many seasons now about
you
these
wanted
sister wives
so
to
that
help
they
you
can
raise your baby,
kids.
and you wanted to be on the porch together, and these babies, and blah 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 blah.
She's never once asked any of her sister wives to help her with her kids.
No. Isn't the whole point of having sister wife? Isn't this is actually the one good thing about having a sister wife is that you have built-in childcare.
Yeah.
And now but you've moved your sister in.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous.
And then she later moves in that Mindy, is that her name? Her niece. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the first that we're seeing. She of course, needs a bedroom for Tara Lise. So ridiculous.
So she'll need an extra bedroom. It's one more bedroom we got to add on. So then we go to Harry Jacobs, debt specialist. Yeah. And his office is in a strip mall next to the Party City.
So here's my question. So Harry sits down with Kody and Robyn, and of course we go through this
before this, do you notice that he and Robyn had obviously met before? Because it was like nice to see you again. Yes. They're all familiar, and they hug each other.
Harry and Robyn? No, I did not.
They hugged.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that's very odd. You've met this guy once, and you're supposed to be, you're this polygamist, like this religious, you're not even supposed to, you can't even show your arms in it, and I'm sure hugging a man who is not related to you is that you've met one time. I just thought that seemed strange. And Kody, I was looking at Kody's expression on his face. He was playing it off like, whatever.
That is interesting. I didn't think much of that, but yeah.
Okay, so they sit down.
Yes. Well, so he kind of we get a little debt 101 discussion about Robyn and his debts and how they're, how she got to this place. And then he mentioned something about this debt right here is the one that's really going to get you in trouble. And this is the one we have to clear up. And then he tells her, okay, so this is the one, this 4,000, we just got this cleared up. I called them and it's gone. And I'm thinking to myself, how does that work? Can I just call debt? If I had a debt that I just wanted to go away, can I just call them and say, yeah, I'd really like to get this cleared up? How does that work?
You have to pay. So
how did that work?
Okay, so these are debts that are in collections. Okay, so let's say the debt was $4,000. You can call up the collection agency and say, I would like to settle this debt. Will you accept $3,000? And they can say yes or no, and you can negotiate with them. And that's what they do. They know they're never going to get
the full amount,
but they buy these debts from stores or whoever own them, and they buy them for like pennies on the dollar, and then they just try to settle them and get as much money as they can.
Got it. Okay. So it wasn't settled for free because he made it seem like it was quote unquote settled for free. So she's quote unquote this $4,000 debt.
She's going to have to pay something.
They could have gone and said, well, we'll give you $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you start out low, see what they'll accept. So at some point, she's going to have to, write a check. And from what I have heard in, just over the years and other, sister wives groups and gossip and stuff, is that basically the family, paid them for her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They paid off her whatever had to be paid off to get the homes.
Oh.
And I think it was primarily Meri and Janelle. Yeah, like Meri and Janelle, or maybe their family pot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, of course it was a family pot. So probably from Janelle working, and probably because wasn't it Kody and Janelle's 401ks and everything that they liquidated to make it.
Exactly.
So probably from that.
So mostly Janelle's money.
Yeah.
And, but Robyn didn't pay off anything. Yeah. Robyn, the person, the individual, didn't pay anything.
Ugh. So, so Robyn goes into this whole thing about there's this belief that if you're in collections, you're lazy and you're trying to get away with something. Well, you were trying to get away with something, Robyn. We all know this now. And then the other thing that comes up is apparently Robyn has 3 different last names. She's like, I wasn't trying to get away with anything. I just have 3 different last names. I'm like, well, what are these 3 different last names? Sullivan, her married last name, Brown?
Well, her original name is her birth name is not Sullivan. Sullivan was the last name of her stepfather.
Oh,
so I think she has a birth name, and then she changed her name to her stepfather's last name, and then Jessup.
Okay, and now Brown.
But yeah, that whole thing, Robyn was just painting herself as this victim.
Yeah.
Victim of this divorce and victim in a single mom.
She was living in a trailer with no heat, no money, nothing.
Building fires and wood stoves.
Yes. She was,
Okay, Robyn, enough with you.
Yes.
So then we move over to Leon is being inducted into the National Honor Society.
Yes, very big deal.
And you notice that when they're getting ready to go to the ceremony, Kody is sleeping on that really ugly couch from Colleen's consignment.
Yes. The one that we thought Meri didn't buy.
Right.
But
she went back
and bought it.
Because Theo revealed that
Meri did bought the banker's couch and the other ugly couch.
And the world's ugliest couch. It really is.
Yes.
27 Shades of Brown.
Yes, of course.
And Meri and Kody are carrying around 2 big bottles of some kind of green drink. And I think that was the marketing business. Oh. That was the drink that they were...
That was the first thing they were doing, the green drink.
Yeah, why else do they have these they never carry around cups or drinks. And they've got these 2 bottles prominently... And there's 2 scenes where those bottles were prominently placed. And
I have to go back and look then, because I don't think I was looking at that.
Yeah, it was once inside the house and then when they were outside the house.
Oh, okay.
But that's my guess.
Yeah. So Leon says that they are looking at the University of Utah. They want to be back in Utah because they want to be back with their church. And of course, Kody's okay with all of this, to be back with... Kody was so desperate for Logan to stay close by, but Leon, go to Utah. I'm good.
Yeah.
But the whole family comes. I was surprised. I thought it was just going to be the 3 of them, but the whole family shows up, which is really nice. And this, of course, brings up this whole... baby story. Yeah. This whole thing gets brought up again. So now Leon says...
we have Kody, Meri, and Leon hashing this.
So Leon says that it's Meri's choice, but, that Leon doesn't want to see their mom be an empty nester. And Leon wants to see Meri have more kids.
She wants her to take Robyn up on her offer.
Yeah. And Leon feels like Meri's, that she's missing out by not trying to at least have more kids. And Meri says that she needs more time. And
Of course.
And then Leon gets so upset, leaves the couch.
Yeah, I thought Leon was being very selfish during this and was really
Leon's 16. I just feel like...
But the way that they were talking to Meri... Like they said, if you choose not to do this, you are taking something away from all of us. And I don't know.
Did they say that really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
And in the way that Leon was stating, it's like you can choose not to be an empty nester. She wants her to take Robyn up on her offer. I don't know. I just felt like it was like, Leon, just be quiet. Like this really is not your business. They shouldn't be talking about it with them anyway.
Well, honestly, Robyn put Meri in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
Because Robyn did this on national television.
Yeah.
Well, cable television. Robyn did this on cable television, put Meri in a tough spot. Like, you really probably should have done this somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is, this is really not Leon's choice to make and Leon's business.
No.
I will say that, yes, Leon's always been a bit like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, wait. I mean, you know how Leon is about the houses in Christmas time.
Oh,
I mean, Leon loses their goddamn mind.
Very dramatic.
I mean, come on, just Hunter gets arrested. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that
she
whole thing. They flip out. So yes, and they're also 16, and when you're 16, you think you know everything, and your opinion is so valuable. So at the same time, I'm kind of like, back and forth just on annoying. This. But so Meri's supposed to talk to her sister, Elaine, about the situation. And then Meri starts crying and she says, okay, I just can't talk about this anymore. And so we move on to some other topic. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day.
Ugh.
So then they go to see Mona.
Yes, and everyone's nervous. Everyone's all on Twitter.
This is the big reveal. Yes. And Mona kind of fucks with them and says...
Oh, Mona? Okay, I have a question about this. Though, did you hear what Christine said? She said, I feel like a single mom. Yeah. I'm sick of doing everything on my own. I was like,
yeah. She said they came to Las Vegas to be together as a family. That was the whole thing. We got to keep our family together.
And now I'm a single mom.
And that hasn't happened, and she's tired of it.
Okay, here's my question. It's a multiple choice, which is A, did Puddle Monkey put Mona up to do this? B, is Mona just a really cruel person? Or C, is Mona just a practical joker?
I think it's A.
Okay.
They had to create some drama. And of course, they put Robyn at the end because we've built it up with all this stuff about Robyn's credit, and they have to get all 4 houses. And this was the production.
You think this is so? Production pulled Mona aside, and Mona told. So production said to Mona, "Listen, the minute you find out what's going on, you come to us first.
Yes.
Tell us first." So once they get to, and they said to, so producer said to Mona, "Okay, listen, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You've got to drag this out. You got to do it this way." Because the first time I watched this, I'm like, "Oh, goddamn, this Mona is cruel. Like, she really drags this out and is so cruel." But I'm like, "Oh God, it has to be the producers."
Oh yeah, no, Mona would have just called them up and said, "Y'all got approved."
She doesn't want them in her office.
She doesn't have time for this. Yes, no, she's one of the biggest, players in this show.
I mean, she's Mona goddamn Reiki.
She's in damn near every episode for several seasons. She really is. So she's gotten good at this. She's honing her acting skills.
and then they also told her, you have to ask the question, what happens if 3 of you get approved?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We did not discuss what happens if only 3 of you get approved.
And then Christine blurts out, "I paid the water bill late and a car payment. I feel like a failure."
That was the best when it was like 3 of them. And Christine
she assumed that it was her that she screwed up.
Don't ever commit a murder with Christine, because she is going to tell on
confess.
you.
Yeah.
She'll confess in a minute.
Yeah.
It was us. We did it. It was us.
Yeah. So they set this up as a real cliffhanger thing,
yes.
but everyone is approved, and I did see Robyn actually cry some real tears.
Yes.
So we know that she can do it.
Yes.
We know it's not some condition where when she cries, she can't produce tears.
No, she can cry. She knows how to cry. She's thrilled. Yeah. She is very, very thrilled.
Yeah. And, but then Mona warns them that they may not have the same pre-approval come closing.
Yes. So what's that all about?
Because they're being approved for a certain amount based upon the information as it is now, based upon what their credit score is now, based upon what their debt to income to debt ratio is right now. All those factors. Okay,
Robyn can't go out and spend a bunch of money,
because these houses are not going to close escrow for months. So that's a long time. So in that period, if you go out and you rack up a bunch of debt, or your credit score goes down or whatever, then when it comes to closing, you're not necessarily going to get the same terms, and they could just reject you because it's all contingent on these factors as they exist today.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure that all went over their heads, and
Robyn's already like, "Ooh, I can get another diaper bag now.
Now I'm cleared. Now I can go back to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, I can open up whole new cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they have to take the kids to the model home.
The best is Kody's like, "I can't wait to tell the kids."
He's just so desperate for this kid's approval. My God.
I just thought that was so funny. It's like, "I can't wait to tell the kids. Tell the kids." And of course, the kids are like, the teens are, of course, still skeptical. They're kind of like, "Well, we think we're going to get them.
We'll believe it when we see it.
We think most likely it'll happen, but we'll just see. We'll wait and see."
Yeah.
So, and I guess, that's it. I mean, this whole section of the approval thing, I mean, it was very quick for us, but it was
drawn out.
It was so drawn out of Meri and Kody, and then, Janelle and Christine. I mean, it just went on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's that. The ball is rolling.
Yes, the ball's rolling. They've got the approvals,
but there's more work ahead. We're not finished. Next week is going to be about picking their
picking. Well, this is when the wet bar next week. We didn't have any wet bar things, but next week get your cocktail together, because the wet bar is going to come up a lot. and the baby stuff's going to happen. And yes.
Same old, same old.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. So if you are a Sister Wives fan, which I know you are, we are going to be covering season 18, which premieres on August 20th. So please tune in for our coverage. We will, hopefully, if Discovery Plus doesn't screw us, we will be covering that on Sunday, and it's coming out every Sunday. So we are going to be dropping our episodes on Sundays. This will, of course, be staying, our rewind will be staying on Tuesdays. And if you like And Just Like That, we are finishing up our Just Like That coverage, and that comes out on Mondays. If you like this podcast, please give us a 5-star review and write us a few kind words. If you are not subscribed to this podcast, please, what are you waiting for? Please hit the subscribe button and follow us on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok. And tell a friend, tell 2 friends, tell 10 friends about the podcast. Please spread the word. I think that's it. Thanks so much for the support. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.